as you get started working on the floor plan drawing, I'm going to suggest that you save a copy of the file again, just to make sure you have a recent backup copy. So I'm just going to go to File, Save As. I've already got 15 copies of this. I'm just going to save this one to 16. That way I can always go back to version 15 if anything happens to this file as I'm working on it. What we want to do is get started on the floor plan drawing of this file. So when we work on that, we're going to actually be creating a couple of different parts of this project, all with a few clicks as we generate these models. I'm going to go into Top Plan, and I've got my project all ready to go here. But what I want to do first is create a brand new design layer that I'm just going to call Frame. So I'm going to go into Tools, Organization. In my design layers, I have design layer 1. I'm going to actually duplicate design layer 1. And I'm going to name that Frame. I'm going to do all my framing plans from this design layer. You don't want to do your framing plans from design layer 1. A lot of that won't work, and I'll show you why in just a few minutes. But what I've done is created a brand new design layer called Frame, and I'll click OK. Now the only thing that'll be different about Frame is that I won't see the roof in it. So I'm going to go ahead and copy a copy of the roof into my frame layer. See, if I have frame selected and I turn off all of my other design layers, there's no roof on the building right now. So I am going to make a copy of the roof. Paste it in place. And now I'm going to move that from the roof layer to the frame layer. And there's that copy that I just made. So the roof is in there now. So that looks just like my drawing. I can go ahead and work with this one now and not worry about anything happening to the work that I have on design layer 1 or the roof layer. What I'm going to do is take everything in the frame layer related to my tiny house, and it doesn't matter if I get a couple of those plants in there, that won't hurt anything. But what I'm going to do is take everything that's in the tiny house, and I need to set the class to none. So I'm going to change this class to none. Now, I don't want you to do that in design layer 1 or in the roof layer, because you could mess up all the textures in there if you do that. It doesn't matter if the textures aren't the same in frame 1. We're just using this for our framing plans. So now I've got 70 objects. They're all in class none. What I can do now is run a tool called AEC Framing Wall Framer. Now, I'm just going to call this house for my model name. I'm going to create those models. And what I want to do is I want to create 2D and 3D models. I'll show you what that does in just a minute. That creates quite a few things. We want to do from the framing layer. So I'm going to highlight the framing layer. Now I should put a check mark in there. We have that one selected. When I click OK, it's going to automatically generate 2D and 3D models. and it'll look like a lot of stuff shows up on the page, and you'll see a lot of extra layers automatically added over here. I'll show you what they are. There it is. So now you'll see a lot of stuff showed up there. And we'll be using a lot of those different drawings. Over here in my navigation palette, I now have house 2D elevations, 1, 2, 3, and 4. House 2D diagram, that's going to be our floor plan. And the house isometric rendering framing plan. I'll show you those individually by just turning everything off to show you this. Now on our poster, eventually, we're going to have an isometric framing model. And there it is. So that was automatically generated. We just need to fix a few things up. I need to fix up a couple things with these windows. But that's the framing model. We'll get to that one later. These wall framing plans are also generated. So it shows us how to do all the wall framing on there. But the one that we want to take a look at right now is the 2D diagram. In top plan. This is going to become our floor plan drawing. So now, just to get started on this, I'm going to do a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to take the entire drawing and turn it into this blueprint blue. It's the classic Vectorworks colors. We'll just use the bottom left, and we're going to make all the line thicknesses for that 0.35. So that's the start of my floor plan drawing. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add in the kitchen and bathroom details. So here's how I'm going to do this. And this is why it's so important that you don't move your house around in different layers anymore. We need to leave everything set right where it's at. I'm going to go back into Design Layer 1, and I'm going to select all of my kitchen details. Oh, I didn't get them all there. So there's all my kitchen details. But I don't want this shelf to show up, so I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to do an edit copy, paste in place. And now those copies, I'm going to just move them to my 2D diagram. Now when I go back to 2D diagram, my kitchen details are there. What I'm going to do right away is convert those into line drawings. Using Modify Convert, convert to lines. And I'm just going to use the hidden line rendering to convert those features. Again, I'm going to make everything blueprint blue and 0.35. And there you are. You can see my kitchen details have shown up on my floor plan drawing, except for my refrigerator. I'm going to have to copy and do some stuff with that, I guess, separately. The next thing I wanted to show you was an easy way to add all the exterior framing dimensions. So I'm going to go back to my frame plan, and I'm going to run AEC dimension exterior walls. Now, my house is a little bit deeper, so I'm going to change these to just 2 feet, 4 feet, and 6 feet. And I'm going to click OK, and it will automatically dimension all of my exterior walls. There they are. I'm just going to turn the fill off. Again, make them blueprint blue and 0.35. And right away, while they're all grouped, I can't select or click anywhere else. Right away, I'm going to go ahead and move those from the frame layer to my 2D diagram. And there they are in the 2D diagram. Now they are the Dimension Standard Architect Style, ARCH. And there are all the exterior dimensions for that. After that, all I need to do is add the bathroom details in the same way that I added the kitchen. And I need to add the room labels. And the last thing that I'll do is go back into my frame, select my concrete pad, copy and paste that. I'll move that copy to the 2D diagram layer. I'll send it to the back. Send it to the back. Blue 1.35 with no fill turned on. And there is the start of my floor plan. Like I said, I just need to add the bathroom details, same way I added the kitchen details. And I need to add the room labels and sizes in all the room areas. There are some samples of this hanging around the room, but that's how we'll get started on your floor plan drawing. I do have a door up in my loft area that I need to delete here, just to clean that up. But that's getting started on the 2D diagram, and that's what we should be able to do today and tomorrow in class.